Hey watch lovers, Brad from Brent Miller Jewelers, and today I have for us round 5 of 5, Tudor versus Omega. And as I indicated in the last video, I went with the field watches. On my left, the Tudor Ranger on the fantastic green NATO strap, and on my right, the Omega Railmaster on the brown leather NATO. I would have loved to have had both these on the stainless steel bracelets. Unfortunately, inventory didn't cooperate with me, but at least I have both models here. Side by side, we'll do a comparison, and we'll see where this lands. So up first here, I measured diagonally across the case of this Ranger, 39.2 millimeters. And on the Omega, I measured 40.1, so about a millimeter larger across the case itself diagonally. 38.9 millimeters across the brushed stainless steel bezel, sits ever so slightly on top of that case, so very, very similar. Not even a half millimeter difference from the case to the bezel. Again, 38.9 versus 39.1 on the Omega. So again, almost identical, but you do have about a millimeter smaller. So the case kind of, even though it's a 40 millimeter case, shrinks down to 39.1 at that, again, brushed steel bezel. And then the crystal, almost identical, gang. 33.1 millimeter crystal, 3 to 9 on the Ranger versus 33.3 on the Omega. So again, slightly larger case on the Omega. I'm just giving you a look at the crystal. However, nearly identical dimensions. You can see your crystal here a little bit more raised, more of a flat crystal here on the Railmaster. Case thickness here. I measured the Tudor. I'm going to give you two measurements. Without the NATO, I measured it at 12.1, so about 12 millimeters, which is similar to your Black Bay 58. And then with the NATO, adds about a millimeter, 13.2. So just over a millimeter, 13.2. The Tudor NATO does have spring bars that slide through, so they're not you're not just weaving it through the NATO. They actually do fixed to the this lug holes. And then the Railmaster, slightly thicker without the NATO at 12.6, so about a half millimeter thicker. Again, with no NATO, just the case itself, you're looking at 12.6 versus 12.1. And then with this NATO, specifically, obviously you can see you have a double pass here compared to the single on the Tudor. 15.3, so it does jump up 2 millimeters thicker with the NATO strap on there. Lug to lug, the Tudor 47.6, the Railmaster 46.8, so about a millimeter shorter lug tip to lug tip. So hopefully you can kind of see that there in the profile. And then we have 20 millimeter straps on both. Neither of them taper. So again, 20 millimeter at the lug width, 20 millimeters at the buckle. Give you a side by side of the different buckles there. As far as your water resistance, we have signed screw down crowns on both. The Tudor, obviously here has the Tudor Rose logo, the Omega symbol on it. 100 meters water resistance on the Ranger versus 150 on the Railmaster. So a little bit better water resistance on the Railmaster. And then the movements, again, you have solid stainless steel case backs. The Tudors is just standard. I'm not even going to move this because it won't come out. Just a standard style, solid stainless steel case back. And on the Omega, you do have a really nice, I believe here, it's the hippocampus logo. And let me just show this to you real quick. These gloves are not helping. Fish that through. And again, part of that logo is also the case thickness, because I did measure it from the middle of that hippocampus. So as far as the case backs go, I think this is actually a really good one from Omega. And that does lead to a little bit of that case thickness measuring, because I am measuring that with that flat crystal. So wanted you to see the case back. The movements, the reason I'm showing that, the movements, the Tudor is the caliber MT5402. 70 hours of power reserve, and on the Omega we have the 8806, 55 hours of power reserve, so about 15 hours more on the Ranger. And then the weight for both of these on the NATO straps, the Ranger 76.7, the Railmaster 86.8, and then retail price, the Ranger $29.75 versus the Railmaster at $5,400. So hopefully that gives you all the specs. Rambled on there a little longer than I want. Let me get these on wrist, because that's really what I'm sure a lot of folks want to see. And then we'll do a lume shot. Again, I like both of these. I absolutely think I'd wear either one of these. Hopefully give you an idea of how they wear on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. And as I'm showing these, please let me know what you think of the this little 5-round Tudor versus Omega. If you liked me doing these, let me know in the comments. If there's another brand you'd like me to see maybe do next. Again, we are an authorized dealer for Omega, Tudor, Breitling, Grand Seiko, Tag Heuer, Hamilton. So several others there. If there's anything else you would like me to review or to maybe do next, happy to always help out. Again, here is the Railmaster. Would love to see this on a similar thinner NATO to see really how that wears. This is obviously going to wear a lot larger in design compared to that Ranger. But let me show you these dials up close, get you a lume shot. As of filming this, I'm filming this, this is actually Tuesday the 30th. I'll upload this video on Friday, February 2nd. So as of filming this right now, the 5 rounds, Omega is winning 2-1. I will take a tally of the votes from last week's Black Bay 39 versus the Omega Octara 38 and post that. So we'll see where we're at. But as of now, Omega is up 2-1. Give you a dial. You can see the vertically brushed dial and the backfilled super luminova here. It's not a sandwich dial, but there is it is filled in, so you get a little bit of depth if you look at it on those markers. Would have loved. Be interesting to see how that would have looked as a sandwich. So again, I know some folks will say they are way too plain. I personally love both of them. So let me hit the lights for you. We'll wrap this up. I promise you, if I get both of them in at any time, both on bracelets, I'll do another video and post it. But for now, this is what I got. Take a look at that lume. Different colors here. More of a, obviously for my eye, green on the Ranger, more of a bluish lume here on the Omega, but both loomed pretty well. As always, greatly appreciate you viewing. Let me know. 5th round, is it going to be the Ranger or the Railmaster? If there's anything I can do for you, anything at all, shoot me an email, brad@brentlmiller.com. Gang, we'll see you in the next video.